Now, she was one of the most iconic pop stars of the 90s, in Eternal, and then, of course, Louise, and she took the chance by storm. Take a look.
Oh, memories, memories, memories. Louise Rednapp joins us now. Good morning. How do you feel when you hear all those iconic tunes that were so part of my childhood?
How do you feel when me and Alison are murdering them as you're watching?
You know, I was loving it. It's made my morning.
Let's go down again. It's so good, isn't it?
Oh, do you know, it's so nice seeing them all and getting to revisit them all and
Did I get the words wrong
a little
there?
bit.
You said,
but-
let's go down again.
Let's go down again.
Whole different scenario. But we're living our best life now. That's the
I
important
always get the words wrong on everything. Honestly, I do. I can't help it. But I still
God,
love it. You
love
give me
that.
so much joy, honestly.
thing. Louise, you are so busy. You were literally on stage for 2 hours last night in the Shepherd's Bush. Was it Shepherd's Bush Empire?
Yeah.
And this is, you were just doing basically your greatest hits, right?
Yep, got to do a lovely evening with, it was really nice. I had Kelly come on and sing an
nice.
Eternal track with me, Michelle Girl come on and sung
wow.
Sweetness, Kate Thornton hosted it all. And yeah, I think we did about 24 songs, so it was a big night, but the fans were incredible, I loved it.
Let's talk about your early career, because obviously we all know that you was in Eternal, but when did you decide to make the break and go solo? Tell us about that time.
So it was strange. I was really homesick. I mean, it's been really well documented. And I went into the record label and said, you know, I just don't think I can do this anymore. And they said, well, you've got a 5-album deal, so you happy to sort of carry on honouring that?
Yeah.
So I walked out and was like, oh, OK. And it just, I don't know, I've never had like a big game plan. I'd take a bit each day as it goes.
Yeah.
And just see what opportunities come my way and what I make of them. And yeah, I mean, Eternal was incredible, and doing the greatest hits, to re-sing all of those songs and do that, I've loved every minute of it. I was so proud to be part of Eternal, and then to do some of my sort of old ones as well. So it's been a really nice process putting the greatest hits together.
It must be lovely.
Yeah. With those Eternal years, do you sort of look, we all sort of crystallise in our heads, you know, 20 years ago, don't we? So, like, do you look back, in the fullness of time now, do you look back and go, wow, we did incredible things?
I think it's because the music industry has changed, like, so much now. Back then, you actually sold hard copies of everything. So when you sell 1.5 million albums...
You really did?
People went in and, you know, over a million people would go in and buy it. So everything was... And you also... Times were different. You were sort of in this bubble and everything was positive. You didn't really ever pick up on anything negative. It was just... You were just doing it.
There's no social media, was there? There's no. You didn't know what people were saying.
No, you didn't hear it. So you just...
If people came in and said, you're amazing, you're fantastic, that was it.
You just kind of knew from the records that you were selling that people were enjoying it. That was your gauge, you know, which was lovely.
So you've reimagined the songs.
Yes.
So songs that you would never sung before, you're now singing. How did you find that?
First of all, I was very pressured because Esther and the girls have incredible vocals. I mean, they are... She, personally, for me, is one of the best singers the UK will ever have. So to go in there and sing things like Just a Step from Heaven, I was like, I need to do them proud. So, girls, I hope I did you proud. But at the same time, I wanted to do them because Eternal was such a huge part of my beginning in the music industry. So proud to be part of that band that I wanted to have a sort of flavour of that on the greatest hits as well.
I'm so excited.
So,
So excited.
When you sort of stepped away from music, did you think you were, you know, you were done? Do you think you were like, okay, you know what, I'm going to devote myself to motherhood, and my other, the jobs I was doing and so forth, things you were doing at the time, closed, whatever. Did you think that was it? Like, what brought you back?
I never thought I'd get to make music again.
Seriously?
I mean, you become a mum, your life, you know, changes. And I used to find it really tough. I missed it so much. It was such a big part of me. I'd done it for so many years as, a young girl. And, yeah, I never thought that opportunity would come along. So last night I did have that moment at Shepherd's Bush where I was like, I'm singing my heart out up here and I'm loving every minute of it. And if somebody had said to me 10 years ago I'd ever have the opportunity to do that again, I would never have believed them. So, yeah, I
What was
feel
the
lucky.
catalyst for that, do you think? What was the moment?
It's got to be Strictly.
Yeah, I think I always wanted to. I think it's just getting back out there. I think Strictly sort of obviously people realise that you're still interested in working.
Yeah.
So straight away people sort of ask questions, do you fancy doing this? Do you fancy doing that? But I think as much as we want to make music and musicians do, you need the opportunity to go into the studio and actually do it.
Sure.
You can't just go, oh, by the way, here's an album. You need a whole team. And I think it's having a few people believing in you. I think there has to be a bit of a want from an audience. I did a small gig back 5 years ago that sort of sold out. And I think from that, it just grew. And I do really take opportunities. I run with them. If I get given a little one, I'm like, OK, what can I make out of this? And I love doing what I do. I love songwriting. I love being in the studio. So I feel, I just feel really lucky to have done this.
I mean, I guess Strictly, as Alison said, though, gave you that, do you know what, I can still do it. I can still perform. I can still nail it on a Saturday night, you know. That it must have given you that confidence.
I think it's a confidence thing. I think it's a confidence in taking yourself away from maybe, just constantly being indoors and thinking and seeing that there's still things you can do and places you can be. So, yeah, I think it was a big mixture of things. I think I'd also got to a stage in life where it was now or never to go with a new album, and I kind of felt I had nothing to lose. I was just thinking...
Do you know what? Thank goodness you did do it, because you have got nothing to lose and you've got a new single out and we want to have a look at it. It's called High Hopes. Let's have a look.
Have you given me enough? Am I crazy? 'Cause I feel the light you're giving off. Give me a love, that kind of love I never had. That kind of love I won't give up and I won't pretend. And I'm prepared, not even scared to let you in. You give me high hopes that I can learn to love again.
Learn to love again.
I love it when you sing.
I didn't know the song was still playing.
That is catchy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Eternal vibes, that one. It's got a big gospel choir at the end and it's a real hands in the air type of song, so yeah.
Let's talk about the West End, because you're now doing Greece. I know you've done loads of other shows before.
Yeah.
But you're now in Greece. And are you Teen Angel?
Teen Angel opening tonight at the Dominion.
Tonight.
I know, opening
Literally,
tonight.
What
Yes.
sort of
I
Teen
mean,
Angel are you? Quite feisty?
yeah, look, I've got a bit sassy with the Teen Angel.
I love it.
With the boots and the wings.
Do you fly in?
No, but I do appear at the top of a really steep staircase,
stop
and
it.
those boots are this high. So
You are high up.
if I'm going to get down those stairs every night in one piece, will be a miracle. It's worth coming to see just to see if I actually get down the stairs every night.
How's rehearsals going?
Yeah, do you know, I went in, everyone's really young. Like, the cast are obviously really young, and they are all so talented. They're all so amazing. You know, you sit there a bit in awe, like these kids out of
Is this real?
college, and they're all so good. Yeah, and I grew up with Greece, and it's just nice to be in the West End. I love theatre lounge. You know, you come out of the theatres late at night, and the buzz
That's
in
so
the West
special.
End. That is when you realise just what we've got in London here as far as that theatre land's concerned.
Your kids must be so proud of you.
They don't say a lot.
Do they not?
They're kids.
How old are they now?
14 and nearly
14.
19, Chaz, yeah.
Oh, they're that age, aren't
They
they?
did come last night, though.
Did they?
And actually, Charlie, when I got home, he said, to be honest, Mum, I know you'd be all right, but you were actually much better than I thought you were going to be. I didn't know that you could actually really sing like that. Like, I was
Only
wondering...
your own child can roast you like
Yeah, he was like, I was actually really pleasantly surprised. You're quite good.
Oh,
cheers,
kids are like
Chaz.
that, aren't they?
A couple of things. I want to go back just a little bit because, like, you were just saying in my notes, I was just reading you saying, like, I couldn't believe back in the day we were on the same sofa as Luther and were at Rodney Jerkins. And, like, do you ever have those moments where you go, wow, those things actually happened?
I know. I do go back. I think about doing shows with Whitney Houston, being in a tiny little corridor with Whitney, and we were performing for the Sultan of Brunei for one of their son's birthdays, and there was like 50 people in this really posh lounge, and Eternal and Whitney. Amazing! And being in church in Nashville with, you know, Luther Vandross and the Winans and
You
Take
have
Six.
lived.
And yeah, I do look back and think, wow, I've experienced some really incredible moments. And being like at the Brit Awards with Madonna in the dressing room next door,
Incredible.
and yeah.
There's
Louise,
the
the
album.
Greatest Hits is available now. Hammond, Do Your Magic. Tickets for Greece at Dominion Theatre are also available now. Louise, lovely to see you. Come back and do a performance for us sometime.
I would love that.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Lucy, are next.